Alright, this is the last video. 6-7 problems here. And we'll be done. So, number 90. Find the maximum value for y given this equation. Well, the maximum value is the vertex. So basically I'm asking you to find the vertex. So to find the vertex, you have to find the AOS first, which is negative b over 2a. So b is 32, and a is negative 4. So that's negative 32 over negative 8. The x value of my vertex is 4. Now that's not really what I'm asking you to do, but you need that to get the maximum value. So I need to plug 4 in for x. So negative 4 times 4 squared plus 32 times 4 plus 7. Okay, so 4 squared is 16 times negative 4 is negative 64. 32 times 4 is 128. Plus 7. So negative 64 plus 128 plus 7 equals 71. So my vertex is 471, but my maximum y value is 71. Same thing for number 91, except it's a minimum. Now why would this be a minimum? A is positive. That means it's going to open this way, which means my vertex is a minimum. This one will open in the other way, so it's going to be a maximum. Alright, so negative b over 2a, b is 25, a is 5, so that's not going to work out pretty. Negative 25 divided by 10 is negative 5 over 2, or negative 2.5. I'm going to go ahead and let you use negative 2.5, so I'm going to plug that in, and you're probably going to get a pretty nasty number here. Negative 2.5 squared is going to be positive 6.25, and 25 times negative 2.5 is negative 62.5, and 6.25 times 5. So here's what we got: 31.25 plus, or actually, sorry, minus 62.5 plus 48. So 31.25 minus 62.5 plus 48 gives me 16.75. And again, that's not the full vertex that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the y value. There's my answer. Okay, so solve the following quadratics using the quadratic formula or by completing the square. I'm going to do one of each. I'm going to do completing the square with number 92 because a is 1. A is not 1 here. I don't like doing completing the square unless a is 1. So, to complete the square, you x squared minus 8x plus blank equals, and I'll move 9 to the other side, so it's negative 9, I've got to subtract it, plus blank. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4, and then square it, that's 16, so I'm adding 16 to both sides. That simplifies down to x minus 4 squared. Negative 9 plus 16 is 7. So now I take the square root, x minus 4 equals plus or minus the square root of 7, right? And then add 4. I get x equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 7, which is my answer because it says leave it in simplest radical form. Now it also says give your rounded answer as a rounded decimal to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. All you do now, you see that that's 2 answers. You just do 4 plus radical 7. And I get 6.6457 to the nearest hundredth, so that's 2 decimal places. So that's 6.6. 4 should round up to 5 because of the number after it. Second number, 4 minus second radical 7, is 1.354, so 1.35. Just to show you that those are 2 different numbers. Okay, 93 is quadratic formula. So that's negative b. Actually, I'm going to do this first. And again, this will be provided for you on the final. B is negative 4. That goes in the first 2 spots. A is 3. C is negative 5. And A is 3. Negative 4 is 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus, and that is 4 times 3 is 12 times negative 5 is negative 60 over 6. So that is 4 plus or minus the square root of 76 divided by 6. Break down 76. It's actually not that great, but it does work. It's 2 radical 19 over 6. And then I just need to look at how to reduce it. Now, if I'm reducing, I got to reduce all 3 numbers on the outside. And I can take a 2 out of each. So I'm going to do that. So my simplest radical form answer is 2 plus or minus 1 radical 19 over 3. There's my answer. Now, when I also round to the nearest decimal, to do that, I do 2 plus radical 19, get that answer, and then all you have to do is divide it by 3, and I get 2.12. And then you got to do the second one, so 2 minus radical 19 divided by 3, which is negative 0.79. Okay. The second 93, sorry I misnumbered, lists 3 things that could be misleading about a graph. There's lots. The vertical axis, I'm just going to talk about this one. I'm not going to write it down. The vertical axis could be inconsistent. There could be a huge break in the graph. There could be, like in a circle graph, the percents don't add up to 100. It may not give you all the choices. Lots of things that could be misleading about a graph. Okay, so last 3 deal with this table. Let's fill in the totals first. 42 plus 48, 90. 33 plus 37, 70. 42 plus 33 is 75. 48 plus 37 is 85. 75 plus 85 is 160. Make sure, yep, it works. Okay, what percent of the students that walk to school are boys? So, the students that walk to school is the denominator. Well, who walks to school? If you read the directions, we see that the table shows the number of students in the survey that said they walk to school. So everyone in the survey walks to school. So that would be 160. Now, of those 160, how many of them are boys? Okay, so we have 42 high school boys and 33 middle school boys. So we have 75 boys total. So 75 divided by 160 times 100. You get 46.87, so 46.9%. What percent of the girls who walk to school are from a middle school? So what percent? So we're looking at girls who walk to school. Remember, everybody walks to school. So total number of girls is 85. How many of those 85 girls are from the middle school? 37. Do that division. 37 divided by 85 times 100. You get 43.52 or 43.5%. Last one. What percent of the high schoolers who walk to school are girls? So high schoolers that walk to school. So high school students, there's 42 boys, 48 girls, 90 total high schoolers. So 90 is my denominator. And how many of them are girls? 48 out of the 90 times 100, 53.3 repeating, so 53.3%. Okay. Final for period 6 is Tuesday. Final for period 4 is Wednesday. Okay, be ready for those finals.